Right. Hey, music lovers, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast. I'm your host, Byron Duffin, and I'm here with Mr. Eric Paslay.
How
are you, buddy?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Heck yeah.
This is cool. We're in Las Vegas, and it might be a little noisy in this room, but we're right here off the sports book at the Mandalay Bay. And they've moved us around a couple of times trying to find a spot for us to do these episodes because they didn't know we were coming, supposelly, which I thought was funny.
Well, no one knows when magic's coming. So here we are.
Well, I appreciate that. I love the magic deal.
I love it. You can hear everybody, alive in the background. They got all kinds of college football games going on.
There is all kinds of stuff going on today for sure. And horse races, and yeah, it's a little Western in here. But so we're here at the inaugural Vegas Songwriter Festival, which has been very cool the last couple of days.
I love it. And when we flew out, I was just looking at the plane going like, there's a lot of famous songwriters on this plane. I'm happy and terrified to be on it.
When they told me that there were 45 songwriters on the same flight, I thought, okay, who was the brilliant guy who booked this flight? Because you could wreck the music industry over in 1 second.
No,
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But it was it's just cool to see this many talented songwriters, and it's like I was telling everybody, it was like the Wizard of Oz. It's like you were there, and you were there, and you were there. I've been in Nashville 23 years, and it's just thinking about all the amazing people you get to meet, and we're all not the same age, and that's the cool thing about songwriting and storytelling is we're all human, and that's what matters. You can tell a story. If you're following love and all that stuff, you can still write the same love song regardless of your age.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because I was just telling you, we've only been doing this for about a year. Now, we've been live music lovers our whole lives.
Yeah.
But we stumbled into a songwriter festival in Livingston, Montana last fall and met James Dean Hicks Stephanie Davis.
Yeah.
And who else was up there? A bunch. And then we went to Whitefish and we got to meet Philip White and of course Marla Cannon Goodman and Bryce Long and these talented songwriters that we just, it's such a different experience, the Songwriter Festival. Now you're a performer, so you've toured and had great success as a songwriter and a singer, a performer. And so you know what it's like to be on both sides of the fence, as do some of the others, right?
Yeah.
Bryce had a record deal. But it's interesting because they're very different. And I think you Rob Hatch told me when we flew to Nashville and interviewed Rob and Matt Warren and Rebecca Lynn Howard and her husband, Elisha, and who else did we interview? Cole Taylor and Justin Wilson.
Yeah.
So, but they all explained to us that it's very different because you don't get to spend as much time telling the backstories on stage when you're performing and touring.
Well, it depends on the crowd. I actually do. I'll tell stories, and if I can read the crowd, that I can tell they actually are listening in that type of way. If I'm in like a honky tonk, a lot of times people are just drinking and getting rowdy and having fun. I'm not going to tell stories at those, but we'll just keep them rocking and going with the band. Right. But depends on the shows. Like a lot of these festivals, if there's a blue sky or a night sky above you, a lot of times people will like to hear the stories, especially if it's a big enough song.
Well, we absolutely love the story side of it because it makes it real. That's a lived experience for you or even your co-writers. And I know that sometimes you go into a room with your friends and you co-write, you say, okay, what's your idea today? And then you you collaborate, you bring together your experiences in life. But I'm sure have you written a lot of songs on your own?
Yeah. I mean, at Nashville, it is true. We co-write so much that you almost have to schedule writing on your own because you're always scheduled to co-write.
Right. True.
But I mean, I'll probably write, at least 5 a year that I just wrote by myself or something. Yeah. If it just finds me and it's like, well, I already wrote the thing. I'll just be done with it and, send it in.
Did you when you came to Nashville, did you come in and look for a pub deal first, or were you looking for a record deal initially?
All of it. Yeah. I moved to Nashville. I thought every singer wrote their own songs. So I just didn't realize that there was just people that wrote songs. I don't know how that's possible, but I mean, as a 17, 18-year-old, at 18, I figured out like, oh, there's people that write songs other than just like, then sing them all. So I moved to Nashville and went to school for music business to have a reason to stick around. A buddy of mine was like, just figure out any reason to stay in Nashville. It's a 10-year town. It takes forever for them to even know you're there. Just stick around. You're talented, stay there. And it led to a publishing deal at a company called Cal 4. And those guys, Billy Lynn and Daniel Hill, helped produce me and helped me get a record deal at EMI, at Capitol Records.
Okay.
And so it was publishing deal, helped make sure I could have some money to pay for going on the road and not getting paid.
Right.
And with the record deal and all that. So it kind of, it worked out in that way. And then I signed a record deal, and then a bunch of these songs I wrote over the few years that I was there getting ready to get signed to a record deal, hopefully, started getting cut. So interview wise, it was always like, so you're a songwriter. Why you want to be a singer? And I'm like, well, I had a record deal first, but I know you know my songs more than me, but I actually had a record deal before I ever had a song recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the misnomer for a lot of fans, right?
Yeah.
And even not so much for us. I mean, I've been a George Strait fan for ever.
Yeah.
I'm an old man, right? So back in the 70s when he first started out, and because I'm an Idaho farm boy that always wanted to be a cowboy, so I rodeoed and I loved Chris Ledoux, and then George was kind of the next step for us because he's the real deal. He's a cowboy and he can rope and that kind of appealed to us. Yeah. But little did I know that Dean Dillon was back behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Him and Hank Cochran are back there scratching them out, right, for King George.
Yeah, and George is so good at picking the right song at the right time.
How do you not be good when you have 60 number ones, right?
He's amazing at knowing what song at the right time.
Yeah. So what was your music career like? I mean, what was your musical journey like prior to coming to Nashville? Were you come from a musical family, I read somewhere?
Yeah, my grandfather and his brothers had a band, but he passed away when I was 2, so I just heard the stories about him. So I didn't grow up in a band. So when I started just kind of picking up a guitar, because a buddy of mine passed by my bedroom. He was my brother's. He was a little bit older than me.
Sure.
He was like, you're playing guitar now? And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of picking along with what's on the radio. And he's like, how are you picking along with what's on the radio? I'm like, well, no, not everybody can do that. He's like, no. And I was like, oh, that's playing by ear. You can listen and figure out what they're doing. So I just liked that and learned how to play guitar and kind of got in the little church band and forced me to learn how to play guitar better.
Sure.
And I'd like fake all the bar chords that are hard to play when you first start playing. And then
I still fake them.
Yeah, me too. And then, started writing songs and at 15 and had a band and we'd go to Austin trying to get shows. And
so where'd you grow up?
Temple, Texas, and Central Texas.
Oh, you grew up in Temple.
Yeah, in between Waco and Austin.
Yeah,
I was born in Abilene, but we moved when I was like 2. Yeah.
There's been some great artists come out of that Waco country.
Yeah, I mean, Wade Bowen.
Wade Bowen, Pat Green.
Have
you heard of the Huser brothers?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Young guys. We interviewed them in Lubbock at Cook's Garage last fall.
That's awesome.
A couple of really talented young men, but they're from Waco. I'm very proud of Waco.
Heck yeah. There's some good music that grows out of there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, good music grows out of anywhere. If you don't teach kids not to dream,
Yeah.
So I think there was like my grandmother, my parents, because my grandfather had a band with his brothers. When I decided to do music, they weren't just like, well, how much is it going to pay you? They realized how many cool memories can come out of that, regardless if it's your full-time job or not. So I'm grateful they didn't teach me not to dream,
Yeah.
But yeah, doing that. And I was in kind of a jam band. I love Dave Matthews and Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash and Coldplay and U2 and Springsteen and Tom Petty. And it just kind of mixes all together with, with Pat Green and all that Texas stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then moved to Nashville and figured out how to sing like me. Well, I'm not Dave Matthews.
Right.
A lot of kids always think, well, if I sound like someone famous, I'll be famous. And it's like, well, if you mimic someone, maybe if you mimic them enough, it still sound like you. Maybe you'll somehow trick people into thinking you're famous and you'll get your own hits. But majority of the time you need to figure out who you are as a singer and sing like that.
I think sometimes it seems at times the big business of Nashville finds a successful artist and then they try and make a cookie cutter. So,
well, because that's how pop culture works. Absolutely. Yeah. There's the Pepsi looks like Coca-Cola, looks like Dr. Pepper, looks like they all are the same color brown for a reason.
Right. But they're very different.
Good. And they're different, but you know,
but it worked.
Yeah,
and so
Pepsi
it worked
Coke
for the
test.
first
Isn't
guy.
That different, but
yeah. Well, and obviously with music, it's all different. And because every story's different, you know, those stories, I guess some of them can be a little bit the same.
I mean, we all think we're really different, but we're all wanting the same thing. That's the problem. Everybody's wanting to be loved and feel loved and feel valuable. And we all know we're busted a little bit. And we're all looking for forgiveness somehow. And then if you can't figure that out, then we all go chasing the wind of, well, I'll just drink my cares away. I'll go love my cares away. I'll dance my cares away, or I'll go buy my cares away. And you'll never have enough money, whiskey, love from someone that doesn't love you to fulfill that void. And I think songs are a great medicine that definitely helps us through the hard times of life and make the beautiful memories sound even better, you know?
Yeah. James Dean said it well, and I've quoted him a ton on here, but he said, music is the salve that heals all, right?
Yeah.
And so no matter whether it's a broken heart or a loss, you know, or a love or whatever it is, it can heal a lot. And then Jelly said it well too. He said, music meets us where we are.
Yeah.
And every day's a different day.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And it's, I don't take it for granted. It's like music's a drug, and I try to use it as a good drug.
Yes,
know? Yeah. It can be used as a bad drug too. You know?
Oh, I'm sure.
Convince you to do something you really shouldn't be doing. You know?
Who really influenced your music? Coming from that Central Texas area, because there's so many great artists, and we talked a little bit about you, and you wrote a little bit with Django Walker.
Yeah.
Which Django's a great guy. We've sat down with him a couple of times, just 2 weeks ago.
I love it.
We were at the Braun Brothers reunion in, so you know Reckless Kelly, you know those guys, and Mickey and the Motor Cars. So they have their annual festival in Idaho, and that's where those boys grew up. And so they bring in a lot of their Texas guys, and they had Dale Watson was there this year. We got to interview Dale. Man. And we've interviewed some cool people at that. That's kind of where we started. And actually Django, a year ago was one of our first, like number 4 or 5.
He's
such a cool, and has such great stories about his dad. You know, Jerry Jeff Walker was such a legend and icon in Texas music.
Yeah, I was just hanging with Django probably right before that. We were in California playing a thing called Songwriters in Paradise out in Hillsburg.
Okay.
And I'll see Django here in the next few weeks also.
Well, when you see him, tell him we said hi again.
I will.
We had a really interesting conversation this time because last year he had a new album coming out, and he's a little bit more of he just wants to be an artist, right? He doesn't want to have to jump through all the hoops and do all the stuff to sell albums.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, I don't want to make a TikTok and do he doesn't want to do that stuff, which is interesting. But so Shanda said to him, she said, would you talk to us and update us about your album? And he goes, oh yeah, that's all changed. We got it. And I'm sure you've talked to him about his plans.
I mean, and in my world as an artist, it's like when I first did radio tour promoting singles and all that, like when Friday Night hit #1 and She Don't Love You and all that, Instagram and Facebook were the ones. So I've got a ton of followers on there. And then over COVID and everything, TikTok started and a new platform for that. And there's times like, oh, TikTok, I want to do TikTok. Like every day I got to do this. And the honest truth is I've decided it's like, I don't need to complain about it if I'm not doing it. Because this is the new radio.
It's the reality.
It's a new way to promote. It's not the new radio. Radio is still alive.
Radio is still going to be
still alive with country. But ultimately, it's like, you know, they'll complain about stuff if you're not willing to do it. And it is working. Obviously,
we're no different, you know, because we're a social media platform, if you will, YouTube, Instagram, and we have to do all that same stuff to get followers to listen to our podcast, right? Just because I talk to Eric Paslay doesn't mean they're going to join us, right?
We have to pray that the TikTok gods feeds it to everybody's phone. That is the one thing that drives me crazy. I didn't search for it; it fed it to me. So who's feeding it to me? Why did you? I mean, I'll say this is how ridiculous fun it is that you're like trying to figure it out. we filmed me in my backyard with a microphone.
Yeah.
With a cord plugged in the back, as a microphone needs a cord to actually function.
Yeah.
I'm lip syncing to my track, because you have to have your track
right,
so that track keeps getting used over and over.
Right.
To where it's the actual recording. So you're lip syncing. You're not really playing. Nobody's really playing the song.
Okay.
So that kind of drives me nuts, you know. And then we had the mic plugged in, and then the suggestion was unplug the mic. Don't have a mic plugged in. And we put both of them up, and the one without the mic plugged in, the same shot, got the views. And I'm like, this is so bizarre. Like,
the one with the mic.
Apparently the algorithm wants fake mics, you know, it's like, it's not working, but it was just, that's how bizarre it is, you know.
Nothing.
It had nothing to do with music. It had to do with, there was a XLR cable plugged in the back of my mic, or not an XLR cable, because it was the same shot and the same audio. Really bizarre.
Well,
that's how strange it is.
Nothing.
What is controlling the music we get? I have no idea, but I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, probably not healthy. Well, we have a tendency to we've learned to use Chat GPT, and our youngest is 25, and he's going, don't use that stuff. But it's a great resource for information, right?
I think it used right, it is. I think the long play of that's not going to make humans feel valuable. But
no, it's not.
That's a whole other discussion.
But that is a whole other discussion. So when
the smartest man in the world feels like a fool compared to a computer, I don't think computers are healthy for us. But yeah.
But can you imagine our world without them? Unfortunately,
I could. You just go back 50 years. I had to go back 30 years.
30 years. Yeah.
People talk to each other. When I was on a plane, you actually have to talk.
You can
maybe read someone's eyes when they're lying to you for their own self-gain. You can actually know what they're doing.
Well, that's why when we started this podcast, we call it Musical Miles for a reason. We've literally, every interview's been in person. Yeah. I don't like the split screens. I don't like the Zoom, get online, and because it's so impersonal. Yeah. This is real life, right? Yeah. We get to have a conversation about being a diabetic. We're both diabetics. Yeah. We talk about, how does alcohol affect your, diabetes? How does that, now I got a question. So you have children.
I have children. I've got a 9-month-old right now and a 6-year-old.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. Good for you. And how's fatherhood treating you?
It's good. I'm home enough to actually get to be a dad, and
boys, girls,
two girls.
Two girls. Listen, little advice. I had one.
Yeah.
Start saving money for that wedding now.
I got you. We'll see. We do have horses now. My wife trained horses growing up. No, I figure it's like, if they're looking for a spouse, if you're too lazy to scoop up horse poop, you're too lazy to go buy her flowers. So
I'm going to tell you something.
Find a lazy person real quick.
I told you, I'm an Idaho farm boy. I always wanted to be a cowboy. So I rodeoed and roped, and my daughter is as handy as most boys right now. Yeah. She's 35 and married and has 2 little boys of her own. But she loved that horse deal, and the boys would date her because at the time I was in the cowboy rope business. And they'd go, "Hey, you think I can get a rope deal with your dad?" And she's like, if you were good enough, you'd already have a rope deal. So no, you're not going to get one. But it was funny because she married a kid that's not a cowboy. Yeah. And she was so worried I'd be disappointed. I said, "Man, that's the smartest thing you ever did. Give me hundreds of thousands of dollars you're going to save on not buying horses." Yeah. But she
No, I don't have those horses. We're saving some old horses, and they're good to us,
but you know what? That will turn into expensive barrel horses or rope horses, but it's well worth it. We come here every year to Vegas to the National Finals Rodeo. Miss Shannon and I've been here 25 years in a row. She works for Stetson Clothing Company.
I love it.
During the NFR, so we love Vegas.
Thank you for the Stetson clothes in the past. I have lots of Stetson.
Have you got Stetson stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're great people, great company. So,
and they make I wear 32 36s and 32 38, and Wrangler makes them. Thank you.
Yeah. We were at the Stetson warehouse here in town when we first got to town the other day because I needed some new jeans because I got fat and my other stuff doesn't fit.
Heck yeah.
So, but no, they've been great, and that cowboy, that's the real world. Those guys are true, hardworking, loyal people. That was interesting conversation we had with Dean Dillon yesterday. He said, George Strait and I believe in the same word, and it's called loyalty. And he said, George has been very loyal to me, but that's just the nature of the cowboy.
Well, and the good thing is if you're loyal to someone because you know that they're a good person.
Right.
Loyalty to someone just to be loyal doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Right.
Loyalty when you know you trust someone's heart, then that's a good loyalty.
Yeah.
And I trust Dean and George's hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, loyalty when you're trusting a bad heart's not a good thing.
Oh, no. There's some, you don't want to be loyal to you don't want to pledge your loyalty to the wrong.
I don't know why I'm saying that. I think that needs to be said.
I agree with you. I think that makes a lot of sense.
But I agree with you. It's like, well, loyalty means you respect your friends and you're not going to cheat them. You're going to treat them right. Because ultimately that's not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly.
You'll have more money in a loan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and
I don't know.
And I'd rather be rich in relationships and friends than with money.
Well, and I think it's just, regardless if you have money or not, it's just what do you put value in, and are you really chasing the wind of something that's not going to fulfill you? Probably. But, But
well, cool. Well, let's talk.
As we're here in Vegas, everybody's needing money to make bets and stuff.
Well, listen,
it's fun though.
We all love to gamble, but they didn't build this place because you and I win here. They build it because we lose here. So there's a handful.
I'm up $200, man. It's great.
Are you really?
Yeah. If it gives me money, I cash out.
There's smart guy.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Well, when we come for all that time during the rodeo a couple of years ago, I had a smoke and run. I was just here hanging out, being a kept man. She's working, and I'd come down in the morning and play cards for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then take my winnings and go put it in the safe.
Yeah.
And when we left here that after that 2 weeks, I had 7,000 in cash and a new watch.
Good job.
And I was like, wow, that's never happened.
I'm going to go sit with you and not play so I don't mess it up.
Oh, there's a fun game here that I like to play, and I'll tell you about it. I don't know whether they have it here, but free bet is what it's called. Free bet 21.
All right.
And that's where I won all that money. But anyway, let's talk about the music, because that's what we're here for. So how many albums have you done? 3 or 4? Your self-titled
then I had Nice Guy, Live in Glasgow, Perfect Stranger.
Oh wow, way more.
I've put out a bunch of songs, but I've in different ways of doing it now.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about that, because everybody's a little bit different. You know, they go, "Oh, we got a new album," but very rarely does anyone anymore dump the whole album out, right?
Yeah, because
you dribble it out.
Yeah, the algorithm of all the TikToks and all that, it's just put out more songs and more songs. And I'm going to do a new project where I put out songs for every season of the year.
Oh, cool.
And I've got a whole bunch saved up because I was too late for spring, and then I was too late for summer. So we'll probably start with fall. No, I don't. We'll probably start here in the fall.
And then you're gonna have some Christmas holiday stuff.
I have some Christmas stuff and all that. Cool. But I mean, it is crazy. It's like I've written over 4,000 songs, and they're not all bad.
4,000.
And it's a thing of like in a world of just throw it up in the sky and see if it sticks. It's like, well, let's just keep putting songs out. And I'm figuring out really great ways to make great recordings with buddies of mine to where it makes sense, where we can be loyal to each other and share it together. And it's just cool. It's like at any moment, literally right now, as I'm sitting here, some algorithm might have fed Perfect Stranger or something to 5 million people, and then it's the biggest thing ever. Yeah. So that's the cool, crazy thing about it. It's like you don't have to go on radio tour in a minivan for 300 days this year to promote a song. Literally, as you sleep, this song could blow up, which is amazing.
Well, it happens. That's why, I mean, you know, we're doing not a songwriter festival, but a music festival next week, 2 weeks in Sun Valley, Idaho, called Valley Music Fest.
Heck yeah.
And are you familiar with Shane Smith and the Saints?
Yeah.
So there's Texas boys, right? Yeah. They're big in that Texas music scene, and we've kind of the last 20 years really leaned that way, just because because of the Braun brothers and the Texas deal. But anyway, he's headlining one day, and then Josh Malloy's headlining a day. I don't know if you know Josh.
Know his name, yeah.
And then a kid that not very many people know, Baker Blankenship. You know that kid?
I feel like I know
19 years old. Okay. He hit it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever. 19 years old, and he just blew up, and he's headlining a festival.
I love it.
And it's great. There's another kid, Ty Myers. That's another kid out of Texas really blown up. I think he's out of Austin area, and he's like, I don't even think he's 19.
Yeah.
You know,
my hope is those guys actually really want to do music, and it just didn't happen for them.
Right.
Because it's ultimately, it's like, you know, it's an interesting road, but that's cool, man.
Well, but it's a little frustrating for some people who've worked their butt off for the last 30 years that can't get there,
it's
you know?
Fine. I mean, the music business is wild like that. There's no reason why. There's plenty of great singers and songwriters that, like, I mean, Chris Stapleton almost was not found. You know, I mean, he'd been doing that for 20 years.
Right.
And it basically took Justin Timberlake saying, like, why aren't y'all doing anything with this guy? He's freaking amazing. Like, this guy's the best singer I've ever known. Anyway.
Well, and to take a Dean Dillon song and blow it up.
It's amazing.
It's
but I mean,
crazy.
It's there are a lot of insanely talented singers and songwriters who are artists that the world never knows because it might be too good. And that's a whole other discussion. People won't go. It sounds like, but it's, you know, if you write a perfectly well written, perfect song and you rate it at a 9 or a 10, it doesn't sell commercials on the radio as good as a 6 or 7. Because if I write you a 9 or 10, you're going to hang up. You're going to turn off the radio and call someone you love. So the radio does not sell music. The radio sells commercials, but the way in which they sell commercials is through music. So there's a happy medium where me as a singer-songwriter needs to make sure it's not ever too mind-blowing unless I am a McGraw or a Chesney or a George Strait, where I do get to play a 9 or 10 because I'm that guy.
Right.
But you don't do it every time because no one needs to hear that's true of the story. I'm telling y'all way too much on this podcast.
No, but that's interesting because
it comes down to business.
They really hustle mediocrity.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it's wrong or bad or anything. It's just knowing the game and making sure you play it right. And then, you know, after 3 or 4, 6 and 7s that are awesome, fun, good time songs that just kind of keep you coasting down a good vibe, then you can tell something deeper about your life, and maybe people actually trust your heart where it's coming from because they got the party with you, you know?
Okay.
And that's, you know, it took me a while to figure that out. It took me a radio buddy to tell me that. I'd be like, Eric, stop giving me a 9 or a 10. Just give me a
what we love and we tell people all the time is what we're really literally trying to do with this podcast, Eric, is to kind of pull the curtain back. Because it's really a confusing industry, right?
And a lot of times there's certain things people think they shouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll talk about politics and religion all day. You know why? Because it goes to your heart.
Sure.
Why do you believe in that? I'm okay to talk about it. Because guess what? If you change my mind, I'll change my mind. I'm not too stubborn or prideful not to.
Right.
And then it comes down to the business of, I see with Jelly Roll, he was like, how much do you pay your guys? How much is your bus? How much is this? And it's like things that you're not supposed to talk about. Because you might be getting overcharged. I might be paying way too much and you're not. And we're like, well, what's the rate? And nobody ever talks about it.
Because there's no standard rate. It's they see you coming, right?
Well, because if people are talking about what it shouldn't cost, someone's going to be losing money on the new kid in town, taking advantage of the new kid in town.
Yeah.
So there are certain things where it's like, no, I think it's all right to talk about it. If it makes you uncomfortable, it means it matters.
Right. Well, it's been interesting to me because I've found out some things on some of the guys that, you know, have played as they come to town and they're great musicians, but that's all they are is musicians. They're not songwriters. They're just musicians. So they go down and they play on Broadway.
Heck yeah.
And they're getting paid and they're making, some of those guys make a lot of money.
Make some good money. Yeah.
Yeah. But
it can wear at you if you let it.
But they actually will settle for less money to go out on tour with somebody.
Yeah. Just
for the exposure and to build their resume, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then some of those lead to long-term deals. I mean, you got guys like Aldean's drummer, Richie Ryman, is that his name?
Yeah.
We got to see him. We were in Nashville for some meetings, and he's a great drummer. But he's Aldean's drummer for life, right?
Yeah.
And until Aldean doesn't do it anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
But there are some. Ira Dean, I know Ira Dean just went on the road with Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah. No, there's great music. I mean, it's amazing. If you're a great musician, go out on the road, and it's fun to go out and see different places and all that. And I think playing the same bar on Broadway, going to the same office all the time for 30 years can get old. Even if you're great at what you do and you love what you do and people show.
Oh, you're not wrong there. I mean, I spent 13 years, like I said, in the cowboy rope business, but I literally went to an office every day and marketed and promoted the rope company, and I didn't go anywhere. And I love traveling and seeing the world, right? So that was a time in my life that was a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but you know, my job today is I'm retired, and so I get to you know, sit down with Eric Paslay and Dean Dillon and Paul Overstreet in Las Vegas, Nevada. It doesn't get any better than this.
Anytime I complain, it's more concerns. I've realized I'm just kind of concerned about the future, not about my life. That's good.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be at that. I don't take an advantage, and I love that people turned up the radio and radio played songs of mine as a singer and as a writer, and it's just all the deep thoughts I'm saying isn't complaining. It's just like, hey, here's a little bit of, let's just make sure we don't mess it up too bad.
Well, and I love your perspective of it, because so many guys just come in and they, you know, we talk about the music, which is great, because that's what our podcast is about, music, and we want to share that.
People are like, who is this guy talking? What did he write? Well, I've written 5 number ones.
You've written a lot of great songs. So let's talk real quick.
Everybody, we've got 1.5 people listening now. Like, what is this guy talking about?
Well, we're not even live, so we're good. We're going to record this and then we'll play it later. But nonetheless, so your hits yourself that you wrote and cut are Friday Night.
Yeah, that was number 1 for
number 1. Songs About a Girl.
Song About a Girl is my double number 1. It's a number 11 is what I call it, my double number
How's
1.
It a double number 1?
It was number 11.
It was number 11. Okay, I love that.
It's a joke.
But okay, I'm a little slow. You got to remember you're dealing with an old man that's gray. And then She Don't Love You.
She Don't Love You. We were nominated for Song of the Year here at the ACMs for that song.
Love that song. Miss Shanda loves that song. Yeah. And I told you last night when we talked about coming and doing the podcast, I said, you got to come sit down with me because you didn't play my wife's favorite song. Yeah. And you knew immediately. She Don't Love You, right? Yeah. So, but that round, so we were at the Bluebird in Las Vegas. They set it up similar to the Bluebird.
That's all, and it looked like the Bluebird. Like literally, the front awning was the Bluebird.
Yeah, the front awning is the Bluebird, which is cool. And I've never been to the Bluebird. We were out there in April and going to go, but they were closed because they had some flood issues. Anyway, and I talked to Erica, who's the manager, and we'll be back because we feature venues as well. So we want to come out and visit with her about the venue because it's iconic. They've been in business as long as Miss Shanda and I have been married, 43 years.
There you go, 43 years.
But we actually did some interviews inside Green Hall in New Braunfels.
That's cool.
That was way cool. That was a cool experience. And I love Green Hall.
Yeah.
And have you got a chance
I've been
to
there.
play there?
I've never gotten to play there. I don't know how. As a Texan who loves Texas, I've never gotten to play Green Hall.
I don't know. You tell me.
Up eventually.
Do you if you're a Texan and you live in Nashville, do you kind of get the X on your forehead a little bit?
For a little while there was. Yeah. It's not that much anymore. And maybe because I've had hits with Eli Young Band and other Texas. I like when, Wade Bowen and I and Heather Morgan got Texas Songwriters of the Year a couple of years back. So
that's awesome.
I think people are kind of like, all right, all the George Strait songs were probably written in Tennessee anyway.
Well,
not that people want to hear that, but it was, and it doesn't matter where it's written as long as you like it. And
well, Leslie wrote Troubadour, and we heard her we went to the Listening Room Cafe, and she's telling that story, and she said her friends and family from Texas are like, so have you wrote a song for George yet? Yeah. Well, no. Well, then call us when you've written a song for George. Yeah. So when she got Troubadour, that was a big feather in her cap.
Honestly, as a Texan, it is frustrating. It's like, I'm a Texan. I didn't leave here because I hate you. I left here because there was a business up there that allows me to do this. At the time that I went to Nashville, there was not publishers and a one spot of community of the best songwriters of Texas in one spot.
Yeah,
where it's like, well, I was also 19. I'll play you a song here in a minute. The line in the second verse was, "I'm old enough to get there, but too young to get inside." That was me going to 6th Street in Austin.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't even let me and my band inside because we weren't 21 yet. Like, we couldn't play the show.
Well, the story goes about Mickey and the Motorcars. When they showed up down there, Reckless had been in town for about 4 or 5 years, and they're older, right? So Willie and Cody Braun are older. Yeah, Mickey and Gary showed up down there. And they said the happiest day of their lives, those bar managers down there, is when Mickey turned 21 because they were letting him play in there and they were nervous. They were in trouble, right? Because Mickey was a little bit of a handful.
Yeah. Well,
so as all our young 18, 19-year-old
Some
kids.
of them.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Idaho, and back then the drinking age was 19. It's now 21, but a lot of kids would go to Canada because it was 18.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it's Austin is a cool town. But I love that New Braunfels in the hill country. Cool. It's just San Marcos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of buddies of mine that live out there now. Which is cool. It's a good spot.
Yeah, that's it. Well, even Paul Simon.
Go to Schlitterbahn, man.
What's that?
Go to Schlitterbahn.
Oh yeah,
the water park down there.
Yeah. Well, we were there in April. No. We were there in November, so it wasn't too terribly. It was kind of cooled down a little bit, but that's just a cool town. There's just, to me, the history, Texas history, and there's such great music, and there's enough cowboy stuff that still goes on in Texas that intrigues me.
Yeah, and they're doing what they do. It's good.
Yeah. So you mentioned the song you did with Eli Young, Even If It Breaks Your Heart. That's a great song. You wrote that.
Wrote that with Will Hogue. Yeah.
Okay.
In Nashville, but
is Will is he a Texan or is he
he's a Nashville dude. He grew up in Nashville, and his brother Josh Hogue also is a songwriter.
Okay.
But grew up in Nashville, and he's a great artist. He tours all the time, kind of more AAA rock, which could be considered country now.
Yeah,
but he's great.
Speaking of rock, so you cross paths with some of those guys in Nashville too?
Yeah, I've written songs with Steven Tyler, and he cut a song when he was doing his. He had a time where he was on Big Machine. He did a song called "Love Is Your Name," which was his country single that I wrote with him and. Our forum, and then we've written before.
And then cool, Rebecca Lynn Howard and her husband Elisha, they toured with him for 10 years to promote that
song. Loving Mary,
the Loving Mary Band. And Marty,
so I know him really good. And Marty Fredericks.
I haven't met Marty. We were hoping to get to meet him here because he's here.
He's awesome,
and I would love to meet him and sit down with him. But but I was going to ask you about Tim Montana. Did you meet Tim when he was in Nashville?
I did not.
Do you know who he is?
I know who he is.
Yeah, great, talented guy. Yeah. He's moved back to Montana.
All right.
And he is partners with Billy Gibbons on the Wise River Club in Wise River, Montana.
I love it.
And Shen and I went there on our way to Whitefish last year, the Songwriter Festival, to try and catch him because I want to sit down with that guy. What? Oh, Billy Gibbons, but and ZZ Top was just in Pocatello, Idaho, and I saw him a couple of times. I saw him here in Vegas and then in Idaho Falls, but just a couple weeks ago, and some guys we know got to open for ZZ Top.
That's cool.
Local guys. That's cool. But anyway, well, you've had a great career and been at it. You said been in Nashville 23 years. 23 years.
I've been saying 22, and my wife was like, "It's August. It's been 23 years." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been 23 years."
Now, is your wife from Nashville? You met her?
She grew up in Ohio, but I met her at my first publishing company. I was writing there, and this pretty girl started pitching songs for us named Natalie, and we became best friends. And 4.5 years later, I kissed her, and it worked out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've been married 10 years.
How you been married 10?
Yeah, but she was the one that got Barefoot Blue Jean Night to Jake Owen, set up the right for Even If It Breaks Your Heart, and pitched it to Eli Young Band for that, set up the co-write for Angel Eyes, set up the co-write for Rewind Friday night with my song. I mean, she would keep all my calendars for setting up songs and everything, so she was basically like my song manager.
So is she still involved in the industry?
Yes, but she takes care of our little girls and takes care of our lives and helps me with my music and all that all the time. So she's not officially anywhere, but she's still very much involved, and people love her, and she's awesome.
That's great. Yeah. Well, Eric, you've been more than gracious with your time. This has been fun.
Byron, thanks for having me. Who even knows what I talked about? I just start talking.
I love it. That's what this is all about. I hate those ones that are scripted. Yeah. I like I said, have
so do you like music?
Yeah. I love. Yeah.
Why did you start making music?
Why?
I like it. Girls like me playing music.
Yes. Yeah. It was easy to get girls. Yeah. So tell me about this song.
I think I'll do this song. Well, we were just talking about it's a hard business. It's a crazy business. We mentioned Marla Cannon Goodman.
Sweet lady.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love her. She was at Cal 4, the company I wrote for, when I was first signed on, and she'd let me write with her. She's an incredible writer. awesome. I'll probably go see her at the slot machines here in a second. Hang
she
out.
Does love the slots.
She's good
she
at
came
it.
in the Bluebird last night. Well, when we met her in Montana, she shows up for her interview with me.
Yeah.
And she's got on a pair of pants with no pockets, right?
Yeah.
She's got on a hat and a pair of pants. She goes, I have $700 I just won in the casino and I have nowhere to put it.
You have so much money you don't even have pockets to put them in.
She doesn't need pockets.
That's
she
great.
just carries it in her hands.
Yeah. But she told me a story that when she decided to be a songwriter, she was a nurse.
Right.
And she told her dad, because her dad is a famous producer named Buddy Cannon.
I've interviewed him.
And he's awesome.
He's great.
I love Buddy. He is he's awesome. But I mean, Kitty Chester Records, Willie Nelson Records, and endless. Actually, Donny Marie, he cut a song on Donny Marie of one of mine, and I hang out with him and his wife here in Vegas. And anyway, great memory.
You hang out with Donny Marie here, or Donny?
I've got them to hang out with them. They cut a song of mine called "The Good Life," which is fun. But Buddy told Marla, he said, "Well, all right, darling, you know, you can be a songwriter, but this business will break your heart every day." And she told me that story, and I'm sitting there going like, what? I was probably 22 and a half, you know, just getting in the business, going like, the most successful dude in town says this business will break your heart every day. Like, what the hell am I getting into? And I guess that seed was planted in my heart, and Will showed up within the next few months or something, and that idea just kind of fell out. I don't think I was writing down ideas back then as much as I do now, but this song fell out, and it was a big hit for him on AAA radio. It was the first song I ever heard that I wrote on the radio, and Eli Young Band cut it. We got nominated for Grammys and ACMs and CMAs, so it's I'm grateful for the song, and you know, it's about not giving up on your dreams. I always say that they don't call it fish. They call it fishing for a reason. They don't call it catching. They call it dreaming for a reason. I think the reaching for a dream is more important than catching the dream sometimes. Make sure that you're still alive and have a reason to get up and
get out of bed in the morning. Yeah.
You know, and believe in something bigger than yourself. And if it's just for money or fame, it's not going to fulfill you. You know, if it's because you know your heart was made to chase whatever you're doing on this world, whether it's be selling rubs to cowboys or going to be rocking it and making good memories for the kids watching in the stands.
Yeah.
You know, or just telling people not to give up on something that's worth dreaming for. This is called Even If It Breaks Your Heart. Way back on a radio dial, fire got lit inside a bright-eyed child. Every note just wrapped around a soul. From steel guitars to Memphis, all the way to rock and roll. Yeah. Oh, I can hear him playing. I can hear the ringing of a beautiful guitar. Oh, I can hear him singing. Keep on dreaming, even if it breaks your heart. Yeah. Oh. Here we go. Well, downtown is where I used to wander. Old enough to get there, but too young to get inside. So I would stand out on the sidewalk and listen to the music playing every Friday night. Oh, I can hear him playing. I can hear the ringing of a beautiful guitar. Oh, I can hear him singing. Keep on dreaming, even if it breaks your heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Some dreams stay with you forever. Drag you around, leads you back to where you were. But some dreams, yeah, they keep on getting better. Gotta keep believing if you wanna know for sure. Oh, I can hear him playing. I can hear the ringing of a beautiful guitar. Oh, I can hear him singing. Keep on dreaming, even if it breaks your heart. Oh, I can hear him playing. I can hear the ringing of a beautiful on dreaming even if it breaks your heart. Yeah. Keep on dreaming. Yeah, yeah. No, don't let it break your heart. Don't let it break you, no. Don't let it break your heart. Don't let it break your heart. No, 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 no.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Get the early morning song out.
There you go. You got to put your autograph on the front of that guitar for me. That Teton Guitar, Idaho company.
That's a good sounding guitar.
That is a good sounding guitar, and you make it really sound good. Hey, thank you so much. First time the one and only time we've ever seen Eli Band live, right, was here. Not at the MGM across the road.
Yeah.
They were here, and and we actually got to see them for free because it was right when they blew up. So they had been booked. And then they got big, right? They had a big hit on the radio, and I'm trying to remember.
Crazy Girl.
Yes, it was Crazy Girl. It was Crazy Girl. Who wrote that?
Liz Rose.
Liz did. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yes. What a cool lady. We've got
Lee Bryce.
And Lee Bryce. Yes, they did.
On it. Liz Rose. I think someone else was on it too.
Yeah. That's a great song. But yeah, that blew up, hit big, but they had already booked them, so they came and did their show, and what a great show it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
good to be
Eric,
hanging with
thank you so much. It's been cool. You're a great guy.
Back at you.
Cool. All right. Hey, where can they find your music?
Oh, Eric Paslay, EricPaslay.
AY.
At Eric Paslay on all platforms.
All platforms. And when we launch this, we will put it in the show notes, all your links, and then we'll send it out to you. Hey, for Musical Miles Podcast, I'm your host with Mr. Eric Paslay. We're coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, from the Vegas Songwriter Festival here at the Mandalay Bay. We'll see you somewhere down the road. Adios for now.